and welcome to another Facebook Live session with The Kingdom. Joining me is Adam Steinhardt, our Managing Director, and today we're going to talk about social media. So Adam?
Hi Alex, how are you going? Thanks for filling in for Zahn today. Who's left? Go on, out of the building. Alrighty, so we're talking social media today, business social media. So I guess what we want to do is, we get a lot of questions here at The Kingdom about, what should I be doing with social media? What channel should I be working with? How often? All these different questions. So I guess what we're going to talk today is, how does social media go and the best way to get started. And I guess the first thing to consider is that social media is evolving all the time, going at 100 miles an hour. And so one of the rules we sort of apply is, well, there are no rules. It's just simply a matter of, we can't predict the future, we're not quite sure what's going to happen, we can't always talk about ROI, and we can't talk about the value of certain things. It's not predictable like it used to be 20 years ago. The bottom line is, it's here now, it's 2016, and so you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now the question is, should that be a reason as to why you don't do it? And the answer is most certainly not. One of the things that's important as a business is that you need to be working with social media so you learn how to use social media.
Absolutely.
And as a result, by doing that, you can start understanding, gathering intelligence as to what does work for you and what doesn't work for you. And of course, along the way, you're building your portfolios and you're getting your accounts up and you're building channels which you can communicate with. So just imagine, Alex, if you actually jumped on Twitter back when it first came out, how would you have gone back? If you got say 2005, 2006, when it sort of all this stuff started going, how would it have gone? You would have got a few followers.
Oh, I think I would have gotten a few, but I think I would have had no idea what to post about. A couple of cat photos here and there, a picture of the beach, but all over the shop really.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you had done that 10 years ago, the chance is pretty high that you would have a lot of knowledge about the platform now, and the chances are high that you would have a lot of followers. Okay, and you would actually, if you'd been one of the early cat talkers, you might have become a cat expert.
I could be famous.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is that there is no real good time to start. Just start now. Get going straight away and start building that communication channel, and along the way learning what you could and can't be doing. So if you'd done that 10 years ago, you would have had a good understanding.
So you're saying that the best time to start is now?
Absolutely. A lot of people in business in particular worry about, what happens to this and how do we control this? And the answer is, you can't control social media. You can control what you post, of course, but you can't control how the market's going to react. You don't know how the market's going to react. But most importantly, you've just got to get started, because the return, when you talk about ROI, the return on investment, let's also think about the return on ignorance. And what's the return on nothing? What's the RON? So if you're not doing anything, then you are not getting any value at all, because once you get started and get working, then at least you have some experience, some understanding as to what is actually occurring. And so you're placing yourself in a better position to make decisions about whether this actually does work, whether it is a good thing for your marketing, whether it can be valuable to business. Now, none of those decisions can be made for your business until you actually do it.
It's a great point. So what do you say when you post on social media?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Think of social media as if you are at a bar or at a dinner party talking to somebody. If I talk to you at a pub and I start saying how great I am the whole time, you're going to throw your drink at me and walk away. Okay? Same thing goes for social media. The process of talking about how great you are is boorish. What you need to be talking about is how you help your customer, how your products help your customer. What are you doing to aid their buyer journey? What are you doing to aid their life? How the information you're providing, how is it of benefit to them? Social media on business is vastly different to what it is when you're conversing with your friends. A completely different use of platform. So Facebook, for example, you may well post information about where you went to dinner, your memories of your wedding, or where you went surfing the weekend, and you're going to get likes and you're going to get fan appreciation, and people are going to comment and have a great time. In business, that doesn't work that way. In business, people are not interested in actually liking your page so much. They're not interested in liking your post. They don't want to be exposed on Facebook, for example. What they want is information. So when you're wondering what to write, you've got to be thinking about, how am I going to solve a problem for one of my customers or my prospects? How am I going to help somebody? Okay, and then the benefit for you is to make sure you've included a link in that promotion piece or whatever you're talking about back to your website, and to further educate and further benefit the customer or the prospect as they go down their buyer journey. Now, along the way, of course, you're building trust. And so social media allows you to talk to the masses in a way that solves their problems so that when they come to your website, you're able to build trust, and that is where you can start getting some eventual conversion.
Good, good. So I guess the big question here is, how often should businesses be posting?
Yeah, so without exception, the vast majority of people are not posting enough.
Really?
Okay? So we'll hear people say, oh yeah, well I post twice a day or once a day on Twitter and twice a week on Facebook per week. But let's not forget that we're very busy in business and we're very busy doing things all day. And so the odds of somebody seeing your one tweet throughout the day is very, very low. Okay? So we strongly recommend that you put in place practices which involve a lot of posting all the time and making sure you're putting information out there consistently, remembering that information should be of value. So we're not talking about how great you are all the time. We're talking about valuable pieces of information which go out for the marketplace on a regular basis. And we're talking between 20 to 30 to 50 to 100 times a day.
Really?
We don't know the ceiling here, so at least we have HubSpot working for us, and HubSpot allows us to track the statistics of what actually does happen when we post on social media. And what we've discovered, a couple of things which is surprising, is first of all we've discovered that Google Plus is really good at getting clicks. So a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in the Google Plus platform, but Google Plus does get a lot of links, a lot of clicks on your links, remarkably. Twitter also does very well. Facebook does well, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Reddit, amazing. So all these different platforms, because we have a tool like HubSpot that provides the stats and gives us the information about the sources, because we have that tool, we've been able to understand that there really is no limit as to how much you can post. If your content is of quality and what you're saying is of interest, then there's really no limit as to how much you can post.
So people should just get on it then, shouldn't they?
Absolutely, get on it, because the worst thing that can happen to you is where you crash and burn and get the experience of it. I mean, I'm not even sure what the worst thing could possibly be. It might take a bit of time, but at the end of the day, you are in a position of something will happen. Somebody will click on a tweet, somebody will favorite a post, somebody will actually like you, something will happen. And of course, what you're doing is building a channel where you can actually communicate with people about what you do more and more as you go forward. Let's not forget that Kim Kardashian, I mean, what does she have? You'd know better, what, 13 million Instagram followers? Or
something crazy like that, maybe higher.
Yeah, and so let's not forget that she started once with 1 follower, and then she went to 10, and then she went to 100, and then she went to 1,000, then she had a sex tape and probably went to 1 million. But everyone goes through 1. Everyone starts at 1, and you've got to go through 1 to get to 20 to 100 to 1,000, etc. So start that social media channel now, get it going, and work on the ways to actually be interesting. Make sure your content's of quality, solve your customers' problems, help them trust you by providing them information that they need to benefit their life, and you'll find that things will grow, stuff will happen.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your insight on social media. I guess now it's up to the viewers to get on it.
Great, thanks Alex, and well hosted in the absence of Zan, who's gone home. We'll see you guys later. Cheers.
See you.